Welcome back to the channel, football fans. What a thrilling night we've just witnessed in the Premier League. Tottenham Hotspur has absolutely torn Manchester City apart in a performance that will be remembered for years to come. The scoreline doesn't lie, City were on the receiving end of a brutal defeat. But, what does this result mean for both teams going forward? Is Manchester City heading towards a crisis, or can they bounce back? Let's break this down. From the very first whistle, Spurs came out with intensity and purpose. Against a Manchester City side that's known for its dominance, Spurs wasted no time in asserting themselves. The way they pressed City high up the pitch, causing mistakes and winning the ball back quickly, was textbook high-intensity football. The first goal came early, and it was a perfect example of how Spurs were exploiting City's defensive vulnerabilities. A quick counter-attack, starting from the midfield, sliced through City's high defensive line, and the finish was clinical. It was a brilliant team move and really set the tone for the rest of the match, and Spurs didn't stop there. The second goal came just minutes later, and again, it was all about their ability to press and win the ball in dangerous areas. The precision of their passing and the movement off the ball were second to none. City's defense, which has been one of the best in Europe in recent years, simply couldn't cope. It was a relentless onslaught, and every time Spurs went forward, they looked likely to score. For Manchester City, it was a night to forget. Guardiola's side were sluggish, uncharacteristically sloppy with their passes, and couldn't find a way to break down Spurs' press. Normally, we'd see City controlling the tempo of the game, dictating possession, but in this match, it was Spurs who were in full control. The spaces between City's defense and midfield were far too wide, and Spurs were ruthless in exploiting that gap. You could see Pep Guardiola's frustration building with every missed opportunity and defensive mistake. As the goals piled up, you could almost feel the pressure mounting on City. Guardiola is known for his tactical brilliance, but tonight, his plans were simply undone by a Spurs side that was faster, more aggressive, and far more clinical. But let's talk about what this means for Manchester City. This is a team that has dominated the Premier League for the past few seasons, winning titles, breaking records, and looking almost invincible at times. But, with this defeat, questions have to be asked. City's defensive frailties were exposed. Without Kevin De Bruyne pulling the strings in midfield, there was no one to link up play and create those decisive moments in the final third. City had possession, yes, but they couldn't turn that into chances. Erling Haaland, who's been their talisman this season, was isolated, and the usual fluidity in their attack just wasn't there. It was a rare sight to see City so disjointed, and Guardiola will be concerned by how easily Spurs were able to control large parts of the game. The big question now is, can Manchester City recover from this? We've seen them bounce back from defeats before, but this one feels different. Is this a sign of deeper issues at the club? Guardiola has had success with this squad, but could age, injuries, and the absence of key players like De Bruyne be starting to catch up with them? It's certainly something to keep an eye on. On the other side, Tottenham fans will be buzzing. This was one of their finest performances in years, and they've sent a clear message to the rest of the Premier League. They are not here just to compete, but to challenge for the top spots. Spurs were disciplined, energetic, and clinical. They exploited City's weaknesses and showed exactly what they're capable of when they click. The team is starting to look like a well-oiled machine under manager Ange Postecoglou. Please follow for more.